And welcome back to Folk Music Notebook. It's time once again for another chapter of Folk on the Water. We've been following Dave Rowe and first mate Stacey as they're traveling a year-long journey around the Great Loop, traveling the waterways of the eastern United States by boat on board the Stinkpot. And we didn't talk to them last week. It was the holiday, Thanksgiving, and also they're kind of... I guess you'd say at rest. I don't know if it was rest the right word, or you're just kind of waiting. You're last we talked, you're in New Orleans, and you guys are still there enjoying it. Is that correct?
We are in New Orleans, and we are enjoying ourselves. We're sitting still. Just I think I mentioned the last time we are, or I am playing the 30A Songwriters Festival in northern Florida in January.
Mm-hmm.
So that's only maybe 100 miles laterally from here.
Oh, wow.
So we have no reason to go fast
right.
for the foreseeable future. So we're just enjoying ourselves, enjoying areas that we wouldn't get to spend extended periods of time in. And
right.
We'll be going to Pensacola from here sometime later this month. But and then we'll sit there for a month.
Yeah, but you'll have a rental car. I'm so excited. 30A is going to sponsor a rental car for Dave. And
nice.
I haven't been in a car in a very long time.
At least during the festival, I'll have a car. It's not going to extend.
What? No driver?
What kind of festival is that?
Yeah, right.
Well, I'm excited to be in New Orleans. I mean, we had options, obviously, of where we could sit. And I had never been here before. And I mean, I'd hate to be a pessimist, but with these superstorms and crazy weather we're getting lately, I wanted to see New Orleans. I mean, it's below sea level, if I'm not mistaken.
It is below sea level, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember, Stacey, when you made the decision to stay in New Orleans, you were very excited that you were going to spend a month there. Has it lived up to your expectations so far?
It definitely has its own unique personality. Like, I don't think I've been in a city, and I am a city girl at heart, that really seems to have a pulse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the music on the streets, there are a lot of tourists, granted, but it just has a vibe that you can just immerse yourself in just by walking around. We don't have a lot of money,
right?
But just being there, like I said, it has a pulse.
Mm-hmm. I've heard so many stories. A lot of people talk about how dangerous New Orleans can be. It does have a high crime rate. There is the French Quarter, which is a tourist section, but go beyond that, people say it gets very risky. You haven't had any problems, I hope, right? You've been good with that?
No, even the gators stay away from us.
Yes, I was going to get to that. I saw a photo. You finally saw your first gator in the wild.
Yes,
we did.
And I was so excited. I ran right up to it. Dave is more intelligent.
Wait. Stop a second. You ran right up to a gator?
Well, I was looking at turtles. I mean, he looked like a log or something. They're historically very sneaky. And I'm like, ooh, turtles. And then I'm like, gator, right? And I did. I shuffled a couple steps forward and was whipping out my phone, as a Darwin finalist is wont to do, I'm sure. But
the award goes to.
Yeah. Instead of trying to reason with me, Dave just started to kind of walk backwards. I was like, where are you going?
Now, how big was it? I mean, we see the photograph, but it's a little hard to...
no perspective.
It was like 3.5, 4 feet. He was... I think I could have taken him.
Well,
but I didn't see any reason to try.
Right. Oh, it sounds like it was relatively small, but there could have been a bigger relative nearby, so you have to be careful.
Exactly.
I know, especially it was just on the side of a road of a suburban street. I mean, it was little more than a drainage ditch that this guy was living in. That was the last thing I expected.
Yeah, he was in there among the abandoned tires and empty paint cans, that you see in a ditch in a city.
I tell you, I complain about the pigeons and what they make a mess on my car. I don't think I could stand living around gators like that and never know when you're going to step on one. Oh, that's something. Well,
it was crazy, yeah.
Well, the food of New Orleans is also something that's been talked about quite a bit, and I imagine the two of you have had a good chance to experience some of it.
We have been digging into the food, and I cook. Well, every year I make a gumbo for Fat Tuesday, so it's food that's near and dear to my heart, and I really like making jambalayas too. It's good stuff. I mean, stick to your ribs, good stuff. But this is where it's from, and we'd be crazy if we didn't take some of it in.
Uh-huh.
So I introduced Stacey to the muffaletta.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a fabulous sandwich for those who have never had it. Created by Italian immigrants. And no matter where you go in this country, if it's a place where Italian immigrants spent any time, there's some sort of an Italian sandwich.
Right.
And this is New Orleans Italian sandwich. In Maine, we have an Italian sandwich too, which is either ham or salami, American cheese, tomatoes, peppers, onions, pickles, and
olives,
black olives or Greek olives on a very soft Italian roll, and there's a drizzle of oil over the top of that and salt and pepper. It's the Maine Italian. And a lot of people, when they come to Maine and order what they see as an Italian sandwich, they're expecting something a good deal different.
Right.
There's no salad dressing on this?
If you hear my stomach grumbling, please excuse me, because you're getting me very hungry all of a sudden.
Well, the muffaletta it's on what looks like a huge sesame seed hamburger bun. And by huge, I mean the size of a pizza.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And, they load it up with 3 or 4 different types of Italian meats, mozzarella cheese, and this olive salad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the trademark of this sandwich is this olive spread.
Right.
And gosh, is that good?
Is it spicy or is it mild? I guess you can have it either way. I don't know.
It's not real spicy. It's all about that olive salad, and it's really good olives, green and Greek.
All right.
In some of the olive juice, your pimentos and
oil.
Can we go now?
Yeah,
I want to go get one.
Well, I'm getting to Cafe du Monde. I understand you've become fans of their beignets.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those things, they're light and airy and crispy, and they put so much powdered sugar on top of them that the pigeons are around your ankles while you're eating them, just eating sugar off the ground.
Oh, wow.
All of the servers in the place, they're covered head to toe with powdered sugar.
Oh.
They just layer it. Oh, God, they're good.
All right, I'm getting really hungry now, but we have another topic to talk about because last week was Thanksgiving, and you're on a boat. Obviously, not the biggest galley, but how did you guys survive?
We had Thanksgiving.
It was great.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
13-pound turkey.
And you measured the oven too, isn't it? Like 15 inches wide by 7 inches high or something.
It's small. It really was. I cooked a Thanksgiving turkey in the equivalent of a toaster oven.
Oh gosh.
The first plan was to have just the turkey breast, but Dave was like, "No, we must have dark meat." So then he became a surgeon of some sort and dispatched this bird in such a way that he would lie flat and it's spatchcocked.
Right.
I spatchcocked the breast, but I also removed the limbs and laid them flat around it. It didn't take very long to cook that way.
Oh yeah, that's like, you're a gourmet cook. I mean, how about all the side dishes? Did you get those in too?
Oh yeah. Oh, we used our new Instant Pot for the mashed potatoes. I prepared the squash a few days ahead of time and just threw that in the microwave. I did roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon and maple. What else did we have?
Well, we
Stuffing.
also had two guests, and one of them does not like cranberry sauce.
Right.
Full stop. And he was taking some home. Dave makes his own with a couple secret ingredients, and he was putting it on the turkey. Like, the dude was like practically bathing in it. It made me very, very happy.
Wow. I guess we can't get the secret ingredients out of you.
I could tell you, but we wouldn't be able to broadcast this afterwards. So.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Catch me after the show, Ron.
Okay. Sounds good. I won't. I promise I won't tell.
But we hadn't really entertained on the boat yet. I mean, we're traveling around. I mean, people will pop on and have a beer, and we'll talk about the upcoming weather and our route. But we hadn't had a dinner party yet.
Yeah, this was fun.
So we had met a couple of boaters along the way who are full-time boaters. They're doing the loop because they had it about 90% complete just in their normal travels. They don't have a home. They used to be RVers. And we just hit it off with them because we have the heart of full-time boaters. I mean, we're off the beaten path in New Orleans. No loopers come over here. They go straight to Florida.
And by straight, that is cutting off all of the good stuff that you can see there. We'll be going slowly through there and examining everything closely. But
sure. You're ahead of schedule. You got the time. You might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, but their boat was out of the water for repairs, and when you're out of the water, you're kind of limited. You have less electricity, maybe, and
certainly less ability to control the environment on the boat because heating and cooling on the boat is it's reverse cycle air and heat. But instead of using air as the media from which you draw the heat or deposit the heat, you're using the water. So when the boat's out of the water, you don't have heating and cooling.
Gotcha. Oh, interesting.
So they jumped at the opportunity to rent a car, drive 127 miles, and we invited them, and I saw how far away they were. I kind of expected, oh, that's so kind. And they're like, we're there. Give me cranberry sauce. So we had a really good time.
Oh, that sounds lovely. And how's the weather going? Is it cooler down there? Or, I guess you're not expecting the snow like we're getting here in the Northeast.
No, but the weather system that you have is impacting the weather here. A couple of days ago, it was in the mid to higher 70s.
Which is amazing. We've
just lovely. But yesterday it started to turn, and now we have a northwest wind, which actually brings up some other problems I'll get to in a second. But now we are enjoying a 50-degree day, which
still amazing.
Still amazing, but chilly.
Sure.
And the wind is blowing rather hard. It's been moving us around all night. And when you have a northwest wind in this area, it's coming from the land and going out to sea. And that's also what happens with the water. So even though it's high tide here in just about an hour and a half, the water right now is very shallow. We've lost a lot of water. It's blown out to sea. The wind took it.
Wow.
So the wind does odd things.
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, well, it sounds like you've got a whole different weather system down there. But you're from Maine, so I guess you know what winters are like. Are you missing any of that?
Yeah,
really?
I actually am. I'll get over that sensation quickly, but I do enjoy that first snow of the season. Mm-hmm. There's something about looking out the window as those first flakes are falling, and the silence that comes with it, and just the sense of peace everywhere. I really enjoy all of that, all the trappings of that. And by sheer coincidence, my dad wrote a song about that. You suppose we should play First Snow right now?
I think that's a wonderful idea. And you recorded this on your album, A Holiday Concert.
Yeah, this is live.
Excellent. Well, here he is, Dave Rowe with First Snow.
Early in the morning, there's a message in the air. The last birds of summer have all gone. The earth is in a doze, the trees are standing bare. A light breeze whispers winter's coming on. Many folks have gone away to places in the sun. Some stay will wish that they were there. But I'll go to the forest and watch the winter come. It's a time of peace the earth and I will share. And back inside the house there is love and there's laughter. There's my lady and some brandy, and the warming fires glow. But I linger here a while, not quite certain what I'm after, to watch the beauty of the first snow. The woods are oh so still in this early afternoon, and I dare not break the silence of this day. Afraid off in the distance whistles out a mournful tune that hangs a moment then just slips away. Now the flakes begin to fall reluctantly at first, and the silence deepens quiet as a boom. The snow begins to gather and cover all the earth. There's a chickadee, a deer, and me in the now late afternoon. Help us out. Back inside the house there is love and there's laughter. There's my lady and some brandy, and the warming fires glow. But I'll linger here a while, not quite certain what I'm after, to watch the beauty of the first snow. And quickly, soon I must go home. Farewell to the trees, the birds, the doe. There's a peace within me now, like one I've never known. The peace that nature brings with her first snow. And in the morning there'll be children making angels here. Skiers will make tracks there down below. But for now there's only me and the doe that ventures near to see and touch the coming of first snow. And back inside the house there is love and there's laughter. There's my lady and some brandy, and the warming fires glow. But I'll linger here a while, not quite certain what I'm after, to watch the beauty of the first snow. But I'll linger here a while, not quite certain what I'm after, to watch the beauty of the first snow.
And that was Dave Rowe singing a song that was written by his father, the late Tom Rowe, a song called First Snow, and it appears on Dave's album, A Holiday Concert. And you can find all of Dave's recordings at his website, daverowemusic.com. And you can also find links to his journey on board the Stinkpot there as well, and also on Facebook. And we have Dave and Stacey with us today as we do our regular feature, Folk on the Water. That's such a lovely song with the holidays coming up, Dave. Are you missing home at all? Are you guys, I guess you're at home on the boat now, though, right?
The boat is home.
Yeah.
We're not missing a damn thing. Especially when we flip on the TV and see what the weather's happening up there.
Yeah. Well, the weather, I mean, obviously New Orleans, Katrina, it's something that the rest of the country read about, saw on TV. You guys are down there. It's been a few years. Are you still seeing some of the effects of Katrina?
Oh, absolutely. There are still vacant lots where there should be houses. There are entire huge, large buildings like hotels that are sitting there empty with broken windows.
In a hospital, too.
There's a hospital that was just abandoned in the middle of town. There's a new hospital to replace it, a few blocks away, but it's still there.
Wow.
Abandoned.
Huh. That's frightening. I guess you got to admire the resilience of these people to come back to the area, but it's something that could happen again, and that's got to be hard to live with.
Oh, it will happen again. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We watched a film here that they show every day at 9 a.m. here at the marina, talking about how it happened and why it happened. And I guess in building the area up, they made a few, I'd call them miscalculations. They built canals, which increases the ability for the ocean, the ocean surge to come in. Mm-hmm. And it also brought salt water in where previously there had only been fresh to brackish. So vegetation was dying off, has died off in these areas, making them more prone to erosion. And they built levees around the Mississippi, which do a great job of protecting New Orleans and farmland and whatnot from water intrusion and erosion. But what they didn't think about is how all of the land came to be here in the first place. It was from the river flooding and depositing soil. It doesn't do that anymore. It flushes all that soil out to sea because of the levees. So it's sort of this stack of missteps that have created an environment where these major storms can come through and really just do killer damage. And beyond that, New Orleans is below sea level. Right. They built below sea level, they leveed up, and they pump water out constantly.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing how they can live like that. And let's just hope for the best for the future. But as you said, with global warming and everything that's going on in this world, it sounds like it's going to happen again. And let's just hope they're better prepared this time. Well, yeah. You're seeing, you're there at a historic time, obviously, and not too long after Katrina, but you've also done some other sightseeing, and I understand you went to a World War II museum. What was that like?
It was, it's a loaded thing. That World War II museum is apparently one of the best in the country. It's purported to be. And it was a little pricey to get in, about $35 a piece to get in with the 4D movie that came before it that was produced by Tom Hanks, which was impeccably done. Mm-hmm. Absolutely fabulous. If all I did was that, it would have been amazing. But we also went through the museum, and they had some really nice displays, what you would expect in a war museum, weapons, boots. You got to get a real good feel for how these guys were living in the trenches. The thing I didn't like about the museum was that every 10 feet there was another multimedia presentation playing. Mm-hmm. And I felt overwhelmed by it. Maybe that's the intention. The intention of the thing is to make you feel overwhelmed, because I'm sure it was overwhelming to be in the trenches during World War II. But I would have enjoyed being able to see the displays and read the plaques and all that without a guy talking at me the whole time
Sure.
from a speaker.
Sure, it feels like they're giving you their perspective, but you want to form your own too once you see the exhibits, and it's kind of hard to do that when it's just coming at you from all directions in a multimedia presentation.
Yeah, and it was constant. Every time you turned a corner to a new display, there was another movie playing. And of course, you're walking in the middle of it. So if you want to see it, it's inconvenient because you're starting in the middle, and then you got to watch it from the beginning to the middle.
Sure.
But on top of that, like I said, it's hard to read when somebody's talking to you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So-
Well, it sounds like you're having a great time. The two of you are enjoying New Orleans. You've been there for about 2 weeks now. How long are you going to stay there before you start moving on? And I mean, you said you have to be in Florida in January, so that's still over a month away. Are you going to stay in New Orleans for that length of time?
Yeah, we're going to stay here and probably till the middle of the month sometime. Sometime between the 15th and the 20th, I expect we'll cast off lines and start moving toward Florida. And then we're going to stay in Florida in the Panhandle for a month. We'll spend some time with some dear friends and see the area. And then I'll play 30A, and then we'll move along through Florida. Wow,
and that'll be coming close to the end of the trip. It's hard to believe how long you guys have been doing this. It's you're getting there.
Yes, we are.
Well, Dave, it's been really fun talking to you and Stacey. I wish you all the best, and we'll catch up again soon. It sounds like you're going to do some relaxation. Any other plans in New Orleans while you're there?
We're going to eat more.
Yeah, as much as possible.
Yeah,
more beignets, more.
And I'm going to see if I can buy some bigger pants. But other than that,
well, you got me hungry, so I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to go get something to eat. I don't know if I have any muffalettas in the house, but we'll work on something. I got to have a poor boy somewhere.
That's right.
David, Stacey, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you both again real soon.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
And that was Dave Rowe and First Mate Stacey on board the Stinkpot in New Orleans. And we'll catch up with them again real soon on another chapter of Folk on the Water.